So maybe taking in a deep breath. If you're new, my name is Alex Mazes, and I'll be guiding today, and I guide every session for us. And it's really such an honor to be here with all of you. So thank you. And so we've been talking about the elements, and now for the past few weeks, we've been visiting one element at a time. And today we're gonna put it all together. And with this practices of the elements, I really enjoy them. They're these elements practice are some of my favorite practices, and I feel like in my own experience, I often find myself removed from nature. Living in Los Angeles, people often say jokingly to me, "You left the jungle to go to another jungle." Except that this is a concrete jungle. So not the same at all. It doesn't feel the same. It could be, for me, having grown up around so much nature, it could be pretty daunting to be far away from nature in this way. We have the beach, but again, it's not the same than really being in far away from the noise and the cars and stuff like that. So even though we don't have to go very far to get there, I'm still, it's not like an everyday thing that I can just walk out of my house and see nature. So I am lucky though to have a park close by. So that's definitely a plus. But even if I take the time sometimes to go into nature, I can still feel this sense of disconnect for a while, just because the city tends to absorb me in a lot of ways. And so just even being around the water kind of feels like a really far away thing. It's just I'm seeing the water, I'm admiring the water, and I can see my thoughts kind of saying, "So beautiful, great water," but I'm not feeling it. I'm not connected. It takes me a little while to make that connection when I'm really caught up in life and far away from what nature really is and what it means to this body, to belong to nature. It kind of calls it, nature calls the body to come home. And I feel that in my experience, many times I'm just so removed from that sense of knowing that this body belongs to nature and I need to take it to nature without the thoughts of nature is beautiful or beautiful flower, or, oh, the birds are so great. That's still part of me making judgment of the moment. And so it takes me a while sometimes when I catch myself doing that and, talking to myself and still not really sensing this connection. So for me, it's a really beautiful practice to have. And so if you haven't been here in the past weeks, don't worry about it, because I've recorded every session. And so if you like to, if you are taking a walk and would like to be more present, right before you go into your walk, you can always do one of the meditations. It could be the wind. If you're going to the beach, it could be the water meditation. And just to kind of get that sense of connection so that the body can kind of experience nature for itself, instead of being a cognitive process of, oh, this water is so beautiful or this is so great, but really just feeling it. So I was inspired to do this practices, just to kind of hopefully inspire you as well to kind of tune back into nature if you haven't, or if you even if you're not around nature, if you have a plant at home, if you have plants, often I try to do that, just connect to my plants, or really feeling and tuning into their energy, sensing them. Maybe I'll go close to them and might hold a leaf and feel their coolness and, and their warmth, and just feeling their smooth, or maybe they might not be smooth that day. And so just tuning into in that way, really sensing and being in the moment. So today we're going to put it all together. And this is a practice that is going to bring us to all the elements and tuning into the body. So I invite you to just get comfortable, just remembering that not too comfortable that you will fall asleep. Part of our practice is to really be fully alert and present when we're doing these practices. This is where we get the most benefit, because they're not really about relaxation. They're not about having a great journey and beautiful. It's more about tuning in and connecting and really sensing, where am I in this moment? What's happening in this moment? So just noticing if you find yourself, lost in thought, and find that it's hard for you to connect with the words, don't worry about it. The words are secondary. What I share is completely secondary. It's more important that you're here, that you're breathing, and that your intention is to be present. So you can even mute or, lower your volume and not hear anything if you want to sit in silence. You're more than welcome to do that too. So it's entirely up to you how you do these practices. The important thing is that we're all together, practicing together in this way and really, really breathing in together the moment. So, okay, that being said, I'm going to invite you to eyes open, eyes closed, whatever works for you. And then just allowing yourself to really welcome the moment exactly as it is. So just welcoming yourself exactly as you are right now. Welcoming the moment exactly as it is. Perhaps taking a deep breath and feeling the air in the body. And just noticing this body here. This body that belongs to nature. Doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to nature. And it's so little that is asked for us to do, to just keep it healthy and well. So just tuning in with the acknowledgement that there is a body here. There's a body sitting or lying. And so sensing through the body. This is more of a experiential thing than really a cognitive thing. So really sensing through the body, sensing the sensations in the body. Experiencing this body breathing. And tuning into this earth element in the body, feeling the solidity of the body, solid like a stone, like a rock, the heaviness, the lightness. And noticing how this body interacts with gravity. Gravity pulling down, keeping us in place. And allowing for the recognition that this body belongs to earth, that the earth element is so alive in the body as it is everywhere else in nature. And so knowing at any time in your life when emotions get high, when the moment gets difficult, it's inviting this sense of groundedness, grounded here, solid on the earth, feeling the feet, becoming one with the crust of the planet. Knowing that even in uncertain moments, one thing is certain, and that is that the body is always here, grounded, solid. Just like stones, just like mountains. Unaffected by the weather. And understanding the always changing cycle of life. Now inviting the sense of temperature in the body, the fire element, the warmth, the coolness. This element that manifests so much in the body as well. And a way for the body to communicate is a felt sense of heat or coolness when you need to maybe put on more clothes, remove some layers. And our emotions experience a fire of their own. But just like everything else, fires eventually subside as well. Everything passes. And in nature, we can see this in the seasons. And the sun is always bringing heat, but the planet is always rotating. And we get to experience the warmth in very different ways. And just like the planet experiences the warmth and the coolness, so does the body. And instead of getting all caught up on the words, on the stories, on the images, bringing your attention to really sensing this fire element in you. Perhaps coolness, perhaps warmth, the shift of temperature in the body. As a fire element is sometimes really strong and it gets really warmth in the body. And sometimes it's not as strong and it gets a little cool. And so noticing the manifestation in this moment. Another quality of this element is to mature things. The body needs the heat, just like every other organism in the world, pretty much. We can even think about an apple getting ripe. When it's ready, maybe falling off the tree, going back to the earth element. It's all connected. Same way the body is all connected. The skin matures. And there's a certain beauty with all of it. It's incredible intelligence living in the planet and in this body. So we're just taking some time to honor these elements right now. And in this moment, the element of fire, the warmth and the coolness. And as you do this, maybe becoming aware of the saliva in the mouth, the water element, binding all the organs together, binding this body together. Every tissue in the body needs liquid, water in some way, moisture. And the body receives this element in the same way that an apple will receive the water, the moisture. Otherwise, it would dry out. And this body works the exact same way. So tuning into this element and feeling the moisture. Sometimes you might be able to feel it in the eyes. Sometimes when the eyes are closed, they tear up a little bit. There is a water element present. the need to swallow. The saliva accumulates in the mouth. The water element again. And there's a sense of flexibility with the water element. It's not so attached to form at all. It can easily adapt to any container that is put on. So this is a quality that maybe we can embrace ourselves, knowing that we are also made out of water. This body that we inhabit is made out of water. And as you sit here or lie down here, you might notice the breath, the wind element, the air element coming in to the body and then leaving the body. And there's this characteristic attribute of the wind element and motion, always moving. And if we pay attention in the planet, in nature, all these elements intertwine with each other, they interact closely together. The same in the body. As you breathe in, you might notice the cooling of the air coming in, then interacting with this fire element, the warmth, and the breath goes a warmer. So just for the next few minutes, let's observe these elements at play here in this body, play here in nature, sustaining life in the body. Every single organism in the body needs all these elements. And so as you breathe in, just noticing this body, it's part of the air element as well. The air element is in it. And as you swallow, maybe noticing how just like a lake is contained in the crust of the earth, in the same way water is contained right here in the mouth, flushing down like a waterfall to every organ, going like a river, spreading around. Changing temperature as it encounters the fire element, held in the solidity of the earth element in the body. When anger or Unger, I think it's pronounced, in our poem, Breathe. Breathe, said the wind, says, how can I breathe at a time like this? When the air is full of the smoke of burning tires, burning lives. Just breathe, the wind insisted. Easy for you to say if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air. I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe, said the air. Don't tell me to be calm when there's so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair. I didn't say to be calm, said the wind. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make this hurricane together. So maybe taking one breath, in breath, deep in breath, feeling in this element in the body. And one out breath. And now coming to the recognition that this body belongs to nature. It's borrowed. It's not ours. There's an intelligence in charge of keeping it alive. There's only a little bit asked from us. And it communicates with us its needs through pain, through hunger, through coolness or heat, through thirst. And that's all we're required to do, to listen to this body that is going to be given back at some point. And so as you sit here, just acknowledging this incredible, amazing body that allows us to experience life, and earth is our container. But always cognizant that it is not ours. So I invite you to tune into these elements throughout your day. And every time you tune into them, just acknowledging how amazing this body is, and how there is this intelligence in nature that is connected to this body. And that this body is no different than the tree and the stone and the ocean. And so I thank you for this practice, for being open to this practice, for being here. Again, these are just offerings that could really maybe help. And if they're not something that you feel like practicing, then that's fine. You can find another practice or sit in silence. That's what's important, the commitment and the intention for the practice. So thank you.